Good afternoon, everyone. So our lesson for today is about walking with God. But let me begin with this question. Do you like taking walks? Why or why not? And when was the last time you took a leisurely walk? Okay, so our lesson for today comes from Hebrews 11:5. So it says, by faith, Enoch was taken from this life so that he did not experience death. He could not be found because God had taken him away. For before he was taken, he was commended as one who pleased God. And in Genesis 5:21 to 24, it says, when Enoch had lived 65 years, he became the father of Methuselah. And after he became the father of Methuselah, Enoch walked with God 300 years and had other sons and daughters. Altogether, Enoch lived 365 years. Enoch walked with God, then he was no more, because God took him away. Not much was written about Enoch in the Bible, except that he walked with God and was commended by God as someone who pleased him. After walking with God for 300 years, Enoch was no more. He simply chose to walk with God and bring pleasure to him. In this lesson, we will look at what it means to walk with him every day of our lives. So, first is obedience. It says in Deuteronomy 5:33, walk in all the way that the Lord your God has commanded you, so that you may live and prosper and prolong your days in the land that you will possess. Walking with God means following Him and surrendering our lives to Him, no matter what is happening around us. Enoch lived in a corrupt generation, but chose to walk in obedience with God. So, what does it mean to obey God? In our daily life, we know that obedience is a very essential habit one should abide to in our homes, our places, and in our communities that we live in. In simple terms, obedience is compliance with an order, request, law, or submission to another's authority. As Christian, we look the Bible as a magnificent source of wisdom and encouragement to know and obey the commandment of God. And in Matthew 22:36 to 40 says, Teacher, which is the great commandment in the law? And he said to him, You shall love the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul and with all your mind. This is the great and first commandment. And the second is like it. You shall love your neighbor as yourself. On these two commandments depend all the law and the prophets. Obedience can be simply honor and praise God for your life and the blessings within. We must focus to obey the greatest commandment of Jesus and love the Lord our God with all our heart, soul, mind, giving thanks to Him continually. So, the next one is agreement. In Amos chapter 3 verse 3 says, Do two walk together unless they have agreed to do so? So, walking with God means agreeing with Him and believing in Him. It says in Hebrews 11:6, right? And Enoch walked with God following his pace, going in the direction he wanted to take, and towards the destination he had in mind. So, why do people taking a walk together need to follow the same pace and direction? So, When you're walking with someone on the same pace and direction, you begin to feel more connected with each other. So, one advantage of going for a walk shoulder to shoulder, you're facing the world together, and this position helps people in a cooperative mindset. So, studies show that people walking side by side naturally tend to synchronize their moments, feels more connected and more attached together. So they will develop a closer relationship with each other. Okay, so it's really important uh, to walk with someone else and follow the same pace and direction. It's just like where you two are having an agreement. And same with us with God. So when we're walking with God in the same direction, when we are following His step, when we're following His commandments, when we are doing things that make Him pleased, that make Him happy, when we're doing things to make to please God, then we're somewhat um, somewhat taking the steps to be more connected with God. Okay, and the last one is intimacy. And then Ezekiel 11, chapter 11, 19 and 20 says, "Then I will give them one heart, and I will put a new spirit within them, and take the stony heart out of their flesh, and give them a heart of flesh, that they may walk in my statutes, and keep my judgments, and do them. And they shall be my people, and I will be their God." Walking with God means getting to know Him, being with Him, and bringing Him pleasure. Enoch's relationship with God was special, and he just kept walking with God until God took him away. When we get too busy, it is easy to set aside our time for daily Bible reading and prayer. But um, what are some practical ways we can prioritize our time with God? So I have a few here for us to uh, prioritize God in our time. Okay, so first is think through your priorities. It says in Matthew 6:21, for where your treasure is, there your heart will be also. So take a peek at your heart. Take a look at your heart. Does God come at the top of your priority? Or uh, do you really believe He is worth investing your time, energy, and treasure in? That's something that we need to ponder in. Okay? And next practical way is that ask God for help. In Matthew 7, verse 7 says, "Ask, and it will be given to you. Seek, and you will find. Knock, and it will be open to you." So, God is both willing and able to help you to be consistent in Bible study and prayer. This is a prayer that He wants to answer. So, He's just waiting for you to ask. And then next is start the habit. If you do something consistently for 30 days, you will have established a habit. So the challenge is spend time in the Bible every day for 30 days. And if you miss a day, then start over. Okay, and then third one, consider uh, have an accountability partner. Consider to have an accountability partner as a friend or mentor to hold you accountable, knowing that someone is waiting to hear from you about your time with God can put some friendly pressure on you to keep priorities straight. And then the last one is keep a prayer journal. Prayer is crucial for a vibrant walk with God, and we can't afford to be haphazard about that. So let's make a plan, write it down, write it down our prayer, and write it down our prayer in a journal, and use that journal day every day. Okay, so um, okay, so that's something that we can ponder on today. So, uh, let's ask ourselves, what are some of the benefits and blessings of walking with God and obeying Him? Okay, so that's something that we sh- we we may think of. Okay. So that's it for today. I hope you like this lesson. So, uh, God bless you all, and thank you. Bye.